with Elizabeth Ward, and Elizabeth, welcome.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, glad to have you. And you're going to tell us some great ways of using color in your designs.
Yeah, well, I started off by organizing all of my beads by color. So if you take a look at the color wheel, you can see I've started with greens and blues, purples and reds, yellows, oranges over here.
They look so pretty all laid out like this too. It's really inspiring me just sitting here looking at them, and I can see how if you had a special attachment to your treasures here too,
Absolutely.
it would bring back some good memories and
Absolutely.
jumpstart
They're
your designs.
on display.
Yeah.
So sometimes I get stuck, and I looked at the jewelry I was making and I realized a lot of it was neutral colors and browns and blacks, and I thought, am I afraid to use color maybe a little bit? And so I looked a little bit of research, and I got the color wheel, and I learned about a few color combinations that are considered very harmonious. And the simplest one would be demonstrated in the blue bracelet. That's the monochromatic one.
It's beautiful.
And you just take different shades and tints of one hue, in this case blue, and put them together, and I think it looks really lovely.
Yeah, and
But
I
it's
love
very
memory
simple.
wire too.
Oh,
Gives
the
you that
memory
great
wire
coiled
is
look.
great, and you can get nice big stack on your arm. So easy. And then this one is using an analogous combination, which is 3 or more colors together on the wheel. So in this case, I went with yellow, yellow-orange, and yellow-green. And it was easy to find the beads. I was surprised that I even had beads in that color combination. But
Oh, right, but then once you start looking for them, you can see them right here.
Exactly. And then this one is called complementary, where you take 2 colors that are opposite each other on the wheel and you put them together. And for me, that felt the most daring because they're high contrasting colors.
Right, and you can kind of fill in with other colors too. So you're creating more of that tertiary look where you have the ones that are opposite each other and then something in the middle.
Yeah.
So, and when you have everything really organized, you can just pull that together really fast.
So yeah, the blue with the
blue
orange.
with orange, and then if you wanted to fill in with the third shade, you would get your 3-color combo there.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, there are lots of ways you can find inspiration besides looking to your own stash, and I know you brought some inspiring pictures with you.
Yeah, sometimes again when I feel a little bit stuck, I thought, okay, I could look at, like I just found this picture of a beautiful bird, and I thought, okay, I could pick up the beads and try to match the colors of the bird and see if I liked that resulting image, or I could look at a beautiful piece of artwork like Monet flower lilies or water lilies, and maybe I could pull out the colors that I see in that image to make a beautiful necklace.
Yeah, and I keep an inspiration board like this in my studio, and I know probably a lot of our viewers do too, that you can pin up pictures that you think the colors look good together, and then creating a palette based on that. And there are online generators too where you can upload a picture and it kicks out a palette.
Oh, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
So you can just scan in an image and then it'll kick out the palette.
Right, and then it gives you the breakdown of the colors. And when you're organized like this, it's really easy to find them in your stash.
Yeah, you can quickly and easily see exactly what you want.
Right, well let's bring over this board too, because it looks like you have a work in progress here.
Yeah, I think this one again is the analogous pattern, and I used the orange and the red-orange and the red, and I put them together. And I haven't quite finished it because in my experience, I come back the next day and I'm not quite happy with what I've done and I want to change it. So it doesn't have the clasp on it yet, but it soon will.
So you'll put a lid on this, put it away overnight, and then come back the next day and take a look.
Exactly.
That's a good idea. And if you want to bring in some other colors too, then you could, you know, look to your collection here and maybe bring in some more mid-range tones like those.
Exactly, or if I thought maybe a graduated, maybe I wanted to put larger beads around the front of the necklace, then I could change it in that way.
Yeah, and you know, you have a great tip too for helping people if they come up with a combination that they really love.
Yeah, sometimes I give away pieces that I've made and I've forgotten to take pictures of them. So if I finish a piece and I like what I've done, I just take a few beads from the necklace, I put it on a head pin, and then I keep them on a little pin like this, and then it can inspire me to make something completely different but using the same color palette.
Yeah, and you know what? When I saw you created that, I thought with my inspiration board that I could create stacks of pins like that from new beads that I buy.
That's a great
idea.
idea.
And then I maybe would be inspired, because you know, you're really inspired in the moment, and then sometimes that moment gets a little farther down the road, and then you could look to that pin and think, oh yeah, that's what I was planning to do with that.
Or you could even spend a half an hour only doing that without even trying to make a piece.
Right, so maybe let's say, for example, you want to create the analogous with blue green or blue violet, violet and red violet. It's really easy to just pull it together and maybe put those on a pin. Now, what about size?
That was another thing. I realized that in my mind, for example, all purple beads were purple. But when I started looking more carefully at the color wheel, I could see the subtle differences. I could see suddenly that this purple was more blue and that one was more red. And it gave me a new appreciation for my own bead collection.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure it's especially helpful too when you're shopping, because you might think, oh, if I had the one that would fit right in the middle.
Right.
You know, you could take your swatch with you.
And it explained why sometimes I would try to put a purple bead with another color and it didn't suit, it wasn't correct, and then I started seeing, well, there are differences. It's not all blue beads are created equal.
Right, that does make sense. Yeah, and you could even think about it in terms of clothes. And you know, looking at this right here, I'm thinking, oh, if I just change the color of my tank top, I could make a necklace right from this tray.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'd be ready to go. And it looks like you are wearing the perfect one for the one in front of you. You have your blue-green palette there. I'm thinking this is your go-to palette.
Yeah, I do a lot with blue, and I also like metallics and blacks, the neutral colors, but I just felt like I was a little bit stuck in that arena. So this has made me feel a little bit freer to experiment.
It's a really good idea. It's very organized, too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you.